Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, doing a first impressions, as well as talking about the controversy and drama that's been happening over the last couple of days in result of this. But first I'm going to get into the specs of the palette. So the Subculture palette, as ABH describes it, it's the sister palette to Modern Renaissance. Modern Renaissance is day, Subculture is night. The formulas for both palettes are different. Modern Renaissance is mica based and Subculture is talc based. People are saying because it's talc based, that's what's one of the main issues with this palette. Talc is a very loose ingredient when it comes to makeup. It's very loose. It doesn't bind that well. So it's producing a lot of kickback with this palette from what I've seen. This palette retails for $42. You get 14 shades. Let me open the palette right here. You get 11 mattes, 2 duochromes, and 1 metallic shade. I was really excited when this palette launched because I thought it was going to be the perfect palette for fall for me. So when this palette leaked, I was really excited because I haven't purchased a Anastasia palette in a long time. I did purchase Modern Renaissance last year, but I disliked it so much. I hated it to the point that I had to take it back after a week. It did not work out for me. I reviewed it on my channel, so I will link that down below. And I felt bad for ABH at the time when the palette leaked because they got their thunder stolen from them by someone at ABH or someone who knows someone at ABH. They got their thunder stolen from them, and that wasn't fair for Norvina, Anastasia, and the ABH team, because even though that happened, I was still hyped, and here we are. So I'm going to get into the tutorial using this palette right now, so I'm just gonna zoom you guys in so you can see what's happening. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to be using is called Edge, is this shade. I was excited mostly because of these two yellows here, New Wave and Edge, because I love me some yellows as a transition shade, and I was like most excited about these colors. So I'm gonna dip into Edge. There's a lot of fallout. I wasn't expecting it. There's like all fallout right here. So for me, I don't know, and there was like so much on the brush, so let's tap that off. Holy crap, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, but I'm gonna apply this in my crease. Okay. Right now, from what I can see, it literally looks like I didn't apply anything on my eyeballs. But let's see if we can build that up. Oh my god, there's so much fallout. Like, I'm just literally lightly, oh my god, there's literally so much fallout. I don't know if you, like, you guys can see that, right? There's so much fallout. Okay. Let's see if me putting this more, putting this on more is going to do anything. Okay, I can see a little bit of the color, but it's kind of diffusing into my skin. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Okay. There's so much fallout, ew, already just from that one shade. So next I'm gonna be going into New Wave. I'm gonna be using my Pat McGrath Dark Star brush. I hope this applies well. Quite a bit of fallout from what I can see. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fallout. I'm not too sure I like this formula at all. So, dusting that off a little bit, I'm just going to place that in my socket. Let's try the other eye, see if this is any more of a difference. Okay, so literally it doesn't even look like anything. It looked like I just primed my eyeballs. This is not good at all. This is not good. And look, oh my gosh, just from dipping into New Wave and Edge, look at the usage already. It looks like I've just been using it for a while now, just these shades, and I only dipped into it today. That's a big problem. So now I'm going to be going in with this red shade called All Star, so let's dip into that. 1, 2, 3. Not as much fallout. There's pigment on the brush is a lot, so I'm just going to tap that off. So, let's see about that. Let's put it on my outer corner. And blend it into my crease. Okay. What? This does not want to blend at all. It's sticking right here, like right here where my socket bone is on both sides. I don't know if you can see, but it's significantly darker here. And it's just sticking there and blending away everywhere else. So I'm very confused. None of my other eyeshadows do this. I have other Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes and they don't do this. So I don't know if it's the formula specifically, but I'm not really liking it so far. And it looks quite muddy too. Like, it looks quite muddy. Now I'm just going to be going into this shade called Fudge. This is a permanent shade in the Anastasia Beverly Hills line. And this has been in a previous palette before, the Shadow Couture palette. So I'm going to be dipping into this. Yeah, there's fallout. And there's a lot on my brush. When I work with mattes, this usually never happens. Yeah, there's more fallout. There's so much on the brush. So I'm just going to try to blend this out. All Star out. What? I don't understand. Oh my god. Oh my god. So are you serious? Just applying Fudge right here, it oxidized. It literally oxidized as I put it here. It oxidized here, and All Star blended away. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if I'll be able to save this, but I shall try. It's oxidizing as... It's literally oxidizing. None of my eyeshadows do this. None of my other eyeshadows do this. I have other Anastasia palettes and they don't do this. It's literally oxidizing as I place it down. It's... Oh, God. And look at the amount of fallout, too. If it'll focus. The amount of fallout is insane. And I just tapped into it. I didn't swipe, I tapped. So I'm gonna try to save this look. Next I'm gonna be going into the shade Rowdy, so I'm gonna tap into it. I always like to tap a couple times. There's not a lot of fallout once I tap into it, but there is a lot on the brush, so I tapped that off. So I'm gonna place that on the outer corner and blend it up into my crease. From what I'm noticing, I don't know, it's sticking to that particular spot on my eye. You can see it's kind of like a streak. That's what happened with Fudge. It's sticking on top of Fudge, and Fudge oxidized. This is not cute. I don't... It's literally patchy, like... It's sticking here, it's sticking here, where my actual fold of my eye. And then it's just blending away everywhere else. This is... Like, you guys can see it. I'm not crazy. It's sticking right here. It's literally sticking right here. Oh my god. So let's try the other eye. I'm moving it into my crease. Okay. For my other eye, from what I see, it's sticking right here. Like, just staying right here in this area. It's staying right here. I don't know if you guys can see. It's literally just sticking right up in here. It's sticking right in here, and it's not blending. Let me see if I could fix this with the brush I used to apply edge. Nope, it's literally just sticking right here. This is not cute at all. And oh, look at that fallout. I didn't even notice that. The amount of that's a lot. That's a lot, and all of the colors look very, very muddy. They're all muddying together, and I'm not impressed with this palette at all. The mattes so far are a no for me. So let's try the shimmer duochrome shades. So I'm going to go in with the shade Adorn. From what I've seen with Adorn, a lot of people have had the least amount of problems with the shade. The shade is the best shade out of all of them, and I'm hoping it's the same way for me too. Let's see. It's Adorn is very dry. So yeah, it's not that great. This is super dry, and it's not going on the way I would expect a metallic shade to go on. It's stiff, it's dry, and it's not. I was trying to have high hopes for this shade because a lot of people didn't have problems with this one, but this is a no-go. As I blend the shades into each other, they're just kind of blending away or turning gray. I don't know, but what I used in my crease, New Wave and Edge are non-existent. Fudge has oxidized and turned gray, and All Star and Rowdy have completely, like, sticking to patches, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So now I'm just going over Adorn with Electric. Electric so far is not that bad. A lot of people had problems with Electric, but it's not that bad. Never mind with Electric, man. It's hard to spread, especially on my left eye. But it is one of the better shades though. Let's try the last shade I'm gonna try the duochrome shade Cube. It's supposed to reflect pink. I'm gonna try that. Cube is a little bit dry, but I don't know if you guys can see the pink reflect. It's okay. I was expecting it to be more duochrome, but it's alright. It is quite stiff though, so yeah. So I'm gonna try to fix this, and then I will be right back to give my final thoughts and to address the drama that's been going on. So this is the finished look that I was able to get with this palette. To be honest, I hate this palette. And I'm severely disappointed, to be honest. For my lower lash line, I used the shade Axis, and then I blended it out with Destiny and New Wave. Destiny and New Wave completely just blended into my skin on my lower lash line. You can't even tell they're there, like, at all. So that did not work at all. I tried to add Roxy in my crease to see if that would intensify my crease. It's there a little bit. There was a lot of fallout in the pan. Literally these look like I've been using these for a while, and it's insane. Like, yeah, so I tried to put Roxy in the crease. A little bit's there. It doesn't really show up that much. I used Fudge. I tried blending out with Fudge again. it just blended away and stuck in weird places. All-Star kind of just stuck here, same with Rowdy. Rowdy and All-Star kind of stuck right in here. There's a line here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right in here. It just kind of stuck there and then just kind of blended away out here. Here it didn't stick up in here, but it just kind of stuck here and refused to blend on my left side. That's how it went down for that. Adorn, the gold shade, it was very dry and didn't really apply well for me, so I topped it off with electric. Electric was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay formula. Cube was quite dry, but it did produce this really nice result. I do love the pink in the inner corner, the duochrome pink, but it is quite dry. If I was to rate this out of 10, I would give this a 3, because this is not that good of a palette. Like I said, I was disappointed. I thought this would be the perfect palette. They definitely need to work on the formula for this. This is not worth the $42 at all. This is not worth the $42 for this palette. And I will be returning this to Anastasia Beverly Hills and getting my money back. So now I'm just going to address the controversy and how everything just kind of blew up in the last week. So I was on Twitter. It happened a couple days ago. Alyssa Ashley, she was filming her video on the Subculture palette, and she posted a little mini video on Twitter about her just dipping her brush into this shade called Roxy right here, this one right here. And she was just kind of lightly swiping her brush the way she would normally pick up her eyeshadow. She hit pan on it, and that was not cool. And people kind of got concerned with that. They were just like, I hope my palette's not like this. I ordered it, da da da. She ordered it with her own money. She wasn't sent the palette, so she actually wanted to try it out for herself. And people were telling her, oh, you're using it wrong. You're not supposed to be swiping your brush wrong. But if she's just lightly swiping across, it shouldn't be picking up massive amounts of product and, like, dispersing it everywhere. So I watched her review. It was very patchy. It didn't look well. The palette did not work for her. She tried 3 different methods of priming and everything. So I did watch her review. While she was on Twitter filming the video, Raw Beauty Christie saw she was tweeting and said, hey, I'm having the same problems as you. There's kick up everywhere. It's not blending for me and everything. So I was like, okay, it's happening with Christie. So I watched Christie's review too. So Christie was having the exact same problems as Alyssa. Norvina did address Alyssa and say, okay, that sucks. Customer service will replace the palette for you. Okay, good, great. I was completely fine with that. However, there's an issue that I have. Norvina did send a shady message, like here. It's just like, why would you swirl your brush in to hit pan, da da da. I don't know the exact words off the top of my head, so I will put it on the screen. People felt that was shady. I felt it was shady too, the way Norvina kind of acted out. I understand Subculture is her baby, and like she worked on it so hard and she got her thunder stolen, but if multiple people are telling you that there's an issue with this palette that you just launched, you should be like, okay, let me talk to this person, let me talk to these people and figure out what's going on so I can better the product. Do I need to press it more? Do I need to change the formula up and stuff? So Alyssa did later tweet later on that evening that brands love you when you're an influencer, when you give their products glowing reviews. They love you. But whenever they find out that you talk about their product in a negative way, they try to shame and discredit you. You're shamed for it. They try to discredit you and stuff like that, and you're bashed for it. This is absolutely ridiculous. And then I saw that, I'm like, that is so true. For example, Jackie Ina. Jackie did talk about a Tarte product. This happened with Tarte. She talked about a Tarte product negatively, but she still remained professional about it. She was taken off their PR list. Tarte was upset with her. She wasn't aware that this was happening. They just took her off and didn't know. But later they came back with their tail between their legs saying that they were sorry. That was immature of them to do. Influencers are there to give their review on something. That's what they're supposed to. They're supposed to review products in order to tell brands what they can work on, if the product's effective, or if the product is good as the way it is. Okay, that's their job description. That's fine. But when it comes to the industry in general, there's a double standard. All the non-POC influencers, so all the white influencers who were having problems with it, they were not bashed. Alyssa was bashed. There's a double standard when it comes to these things. There's a tweet by Norvina. I screenshotted it, so I'll put it here. She's like, "Oh, if you can drag me all you want, but I'll still love you." And I think this is to Jeffrey, Manny, and Laura Lee. She said that, and I was just like, you're joking with them over them bashing your product, but when it comes to Alyssa, you throw shade. Like, there's a completely double standard in this industry, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end, because I thought Anastasia was a brand that was working to include everybody. That's why a lot of people fell in love with their brand. They're one of the inclusive brands out of the very few brands that cater to everybody, and I thought they were doing so well. But with this is absolutely ridiculous. POC influencers and artists, we get less engagement and less opportunities that white influencers do. We do. It just happened. Like, we get less brand trips, less products sent to us, and, like, it's awful. And brands think it'll be like, oh, their opinions don't matter. Here's the thing. I did a report on the beauty industry. People of color, especially the Black community specifically, we spend, as a total, approximately $10 to $12 billion a year on the beauty industry. Just, that's us, which is way more than the general market, which is light to medium skin tones. They spend an average between $3 to $5 billion a year. Holy crap, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of money. We spend more money than they do, so there should be more options for us, but there aren't, because the entire industry is focused on Eurocentric features. When there's so many people with different colors and skin tones that should have the opportunity to be using makeup. I find that people of color are more honest when it comes to their reviews, and whenever we're honest, we're just bashed for it, we're degraded, we're shamed, and this needs to stop. This absolutely needs to stop. Alyssa was very honest with her review, and it kind of spurred people to say, okay, this product is not good, but Norvina didn't. You see where I'm getting here? Like, the double standard is very, I'm just angry just thinking about it. And brands need to consider that POC were customers, we're consumers, we're influencers too. Our voice matters just as much as the next person, a non-POC influencer. Our voice matters just as much. And I'm still waiting just as much as a lot of people for an official statement from ABH. So when I was watching reviews for this palette before I got mine, I watched different ones with people of different skin tones. So I watched Skeleton, I watched Raw Beauty Christy, I watched Alyssa, I watched Manny, Jeffrey, as well as other dark skinned people. But the three most important ones for me was Christy's, Alyssa's, and Shanine, Miss Too Much Mouth. I tend to watch different skin tones because it helps me gauge if, okay, well, I want to see the pigmentation on this person, see if it's actually good. So I'll watch in different skin tones for light to medium deep. And then when I see dark skin tones, I just want to know if it's black girl friendly at that point. So, and if the quality is there. So I watched Too Much Mouth, Shanine, and honestly, she had the same problems as I did when it came to New Wave and Edge and Fudge. New Wave and Edge just completely dissipated into her skin like mine. So obviously, it's not black girl friendly. And then Fudge just kind of disappeared and blended away on her. On me, it kind of stuck, oxidized, and blended away. It's weird. So I kind of had similar problems to her. After I watched her review, I saw that ABH had posted IG stories on how to use the Subculture palette, how to create looks with that. I was like, cool, let me see if this will help me. So Alyssa Marie Artistry on Instagram, she's an amazing artist. She works for ABH. She did a IG story tutorial on how to use the palette, and I was like, okay, her look came out really, really good. It came out, her look was one of the best looks I've seen using the palette, but I could see that it was still quite patchy on her with application. And I understand the way she would feel about this palette because she does work for ABH. She should be backing the brand. However, if I was her and I was hearing so many people say that this palette was not working, I would not risk my career to back a palette that people are saying is not 100, and I know myself is not and I should know is not 100. Like, I wouldn't put my career on the line just for that. I watched her Instagram stories, and then I went back a couple hours later, and they were deleted. And I was like, they literally just put this up a couple hours ago. So I was just like, what's going on? So I went back to Twitter, because a lot of this happened on Twitter, and Norvina said that Alyssa was in tears. Alyssa Marie was in tears. And I felt bad for Alyssa because people were coming after her too. Her job description is as an artist for ABH. She's supposed to show how products are used, to create content for them, to create looks for them. So I felt bad for her. And people were also coming after her because they confused her with Alyssa Ashley. Like, people, like, do your research first before you come for people. Like, it's not cute. And I was talking with Shanine, Miss Too Much Mouth. I was talking with her, and she sent me screenshots of someone commented under Alyssa's pictures, one of Alyssa's pictures, for the Subculture palette. I'll probably put the comment here on the screen. She sent me screenshots, and someone's like, I don't understand why people are bashing this product. Mine was fine, da 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 da, you're just using it wrong, blah blah blah. Alyssa was just like, oh, I'm glad you have common sense and talent to be able to use this, da 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 da. Touted this as high pigment and blendable. Like, that's what this palette was touted as. So now you're saying that you need a different touch and you need common sense and talent to be able to use this. If you need talent to be able to use this palette, you should have marketed it as a pro palette, not as a palette that all consumers can use. So I was just like, okay, Alyssa, now you're not making me feel bad for you. Like, you kind of, like, changed my mind. I felt horrible that you're being treated that way, but you didn't deserve to be treated. But now you're coming for people who are saying that they don't have common sense and they're not talented. Get out of here. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I feel the way they're handling it is not that great. And then someone on Twitter, Shanine, still sent me screenshots saying that, oh, this whole hoo-ha about the Subculture palette is separating the real artists from the YouTube gurus, blah blah blah. And Anastasia liked it. Like I said, I'll put the screenshots here. Anastasia liked it, and I was just like, Anastasia, you're feeding into this. Indirectly, you're feeding into this. And I was just like, oh my gosh, wow. What brand am I supporting? It questioned my loyalty, and I questioned the brand because of it. I don't know anymore, because the way this was handled by Anastasia and Alyssa and Norvina, over this entire issue, this whole batch issue that everybody had with this particular batch, it's literally insane, and I'm not here for it with the double standard. Anastasia was doing so good, but I feel like they might have gotten too big for their britches. You're business first, you're business people first, and you're supposed to satisfy the customers. If people are giving you the same feedback, it's the same feedback all across the board. I personally, if I was Norvina or Anastasia, I would be like, okay, we're gonna recall that batch, we're gonna figure out what's going on, people will be getting their money back. We're going to fix this issue. We need to pull all palettes back. You can get it for a refund, or if you want to keep it. But we need to get to the bottom of this. If everybody's palettes are the same way, I feel like they should have acted like that instead of being unprofessional about it. Because now Norvina's kind of trying to save face. Alyssa's trying to save face. Overall, with the whole drama, ABH. I'm probably going to stay away from them for a little bit. This palette will be going back. Unfortunately, this palette is not of good quality. My other ABH palettes are so much better, and I have 4 of them. I don't know where the other one is, but, no, it's right here. I have 4 of them. I have Tamana, Emreezy, Shadow Couture, and Artist, and the formula on these are amazing. So I don't know what the formula is up with Subculture and Modern Renaissance, because people have been saying Modern Renaissance is the exact same way. The formula on these were amazing, and they need to go back to this specific formula. Subculture, they need to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Darker skin POC like myself not being considered when brands choices, we have as much of as a voice as non-POC people do. Brands need to really check themselves. I'm tired of this industry. I'm tired of how this industry has become very vain, especially with brands. They've become too proud, as well as, they're just very vain and proud, and they don't take criticism well. Like, brands are not taking criticism well, and that's what this industry is about. Trying products, giving criticism, and using it to better your brand and your product. They're not taking it well. It's become very, very cutthroat. People are playing favorites. It's disgusting, and it's just super shady, and I'm not here for it. And it's not cute. I'm not here for it, and it makes me sometimes question when things like this happen why I joined this industry. But I realized I joined this industry because I want to share my thoughts on popular products with girls who are like me, of my skin tone, who are college age like me, or other young women. I want to share my views as a young woman of color and share my thoughts and help them make good product choices, and so that they don't waste money. That's what I'm here for. That's why I started my channel. I wanted to help people. This has just been a whole mess in of itself, and ABH really needs to release an official statement ASAP and pull these palettes back and figure out what's wrong with them, instead of being shady all over the place. And it's not cute. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as comment down below if you've had issues with this palette as well. And yeah, sorry, I just kind of have a muscle twitch. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.